Welcome to Art Loves Fashion. I'm your host, Sharonda Irving. I'm an image consultant, professional developer, art curator and collector, a wife and a mom. This show, Art Loves Fashion, is about, you guessed it, art, love, and fashion. We'll be meeting new people, trying interesting things, and hopefully learning something new. Sounds kind of vague, right? That's because I want you to join me on Sundays at 5 o'clock as we take a journey of all things creative and beautiful with art, loves, fashion. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Art Loves Fashion. I am Sharonda Irving, as you heard on my intro, and this is our first episode on a journey of all things beautiful and creative. So, what are we going to be talking about today? As I said in the intro, we're going to be talking about art, love, and fashion. And this is a great weekend to be talking about it because this is the weekend before Love Day, right? Valentine's Day. So whether you celebrate Valentine's Day or Black Love Day, which that's the thing in case y'all didn't know, I'm going to give you guys some tips and some things to be thinking about and maybe something to try just in time for Valentine's Day. And I'll try to tie it into a few of the segments. So the first segment that's going to be first up is the art segment. Oh, you know what? No, we're going to talk about love first. Since I said Valentine's Day, let's talk about love first. Now, if you're like me, if you heard in the intro, I am a wife and a mom. I've been married for quite some time, 19 years this year. And so Valentine's Day, sometimes it gets really challenging to come up with an idea for what to do for Valentine's Day. In fact, my husband and I decided, when it comes to gifts, like we start running out of things to give each other for gifts. And, we do like to do experiences together, but, sometimes you want to do something a little bit unconventional. So having said that, I got a good idea for you if you haven't tried it. So one thing you can do for Valentine's Day is do an indoor picnic. Now, Valentine's Day comes in February, and Mother Nature is a little crazy. So sometimes it's snowing, sometimes it's not, but an indoor picnic, whether it's snow, whether it's rain, always works. One of the reasons why it works is because Valentine's Day, if you're trying to go out, it's crazy. It's packed. You're sitting on top of the table right next to you, if you can even get a table. They're like rushing people in and out. So who feels like dealing with that? At least that's how I feel. How can you kind of have romance going on when you can almost hear the people sitting right next to you? So, indoor picnic. Get a babysitter. Get your kids out the house. And start planning. Get your blanket. Get your mixtape or whatever you want to do. Get your candles. All that kind of stuff. But here's the thing that I want to get you guys to try. So I have a girlfriend. Her name is Michelle Paris. She's from We Are Food Plus Friends, and she is my go-to personal chef. I call her whenever I'm in a pinch, when I'm having an event, and she's just a creative genius when it comes to the kitchen. So I say, hey, Michelle, what's something sexy and super easy that I can make for Valentine's Day? Because what I don't feel like doing is making something super heavy duty. Then I'm too tired to be romantic. So she gave me two ideas. The first idea was, I said, tell me something that's going to be like I have it in my closet. So she goes, oh, girl, spaghetti carbonara. Now, sounds a little bit complicated to me because I hate stuff that has a lot of steps to it. And my husband is spaghetti with marinara. So she said spaghetti carbonara. All right, Michelle, run it down to me. So she said, all you need. And I grabbed this out of my closet because I wanted to show y'all how easy it was. Box of spaghetti, eggs, and bacon. Where's the sauce? I don't get it. So this is what you do. And this is what she told me. She said, boil your spaghetti, set it to the side. Take your bacon, fry your bacon in the pan. Now, this is what I did say. I said, okay, bacon is good because most of the time men like bacon. So you might be setting the stage for him to be like, yeah, girl. And turkey bacon, I would be doing turkey bacon. I don't eat beef. I don't eat pork. I would imagine the pork probably gives you a nice oil. So you fry up your bacon. Then she said, take an egg, beat it like you're going to be scrambling it. And then you take the spaghetti, dump the spaghetti in the oil with the bacon, stir that all up, not on the fire. Once that's done and the spaghetti and the bacon is hot, take your egg that you've already scrambled, throw it in the hot spaghetti and stir it up. So I'm like, Michelle, that sounds like salmonella. Sounds like the night is not going to go right. So she said, no, trust me. And I trust her because she's great. So what she said was, and I'm passing this on to you guys. She said, the heat from the spaghetti, the heat from the oil, the heat from the bacon will cook the egg. And no, it's not going to come out like scrambled eggs and spaghetti. What she told me was it's just going to give the pasta a nice coating. And what she called it was a nice mouth, what'd she say? A nice mouth coating. So she said it's sexy and it gives you a nice sensation in the mouth. And so for Valentine's Day, that's probably a good idea, right? To set the stage. It's hearty. You feel kind of full. It's yummy. It's hot. You know, and then you get a mouth feeling. So try it. It's spaghetti, it's egg, and bacon. Now, for those of you who don't do bacon, she said put and a little bit of shaved Parmesan. That's where you get fancy. Now, if you don't have Parmesan in your fridge, you may have to stop and pick that up because that's going to make it a little bit fancy. I think your partner probably deserves a quick run to the store for some Parmesan cheese. Don't get the kind in the green. What's that? The Kraft sprinkles. Don't get that. Get you something that you have to shave. Or get it pre-shaved. Like if you go to a nice grocery store, that they'll sell it pre-shaved, but not Kraft crumbled Parmesan cheese. Now, what she said was if you do not eat bacon, then what you want to do is you can use a nice oil in the pan. She said try smoked salmon. I don't know about smoked salmon on Love Day because you don't really want to be introducing like the fishy taste right away. So I would probably hold off on the fish. You can try maybe some veggie bacon if you and your man are plant-based folks, or if you're just not meat eaters. If you're plant-based, then don't make spaghetti carbonara, obviously. So that's one way that you can do your picnic in the house. The other thing you can do, and I didn't bring it because I didn't want to have to schlep meats, is charcuterie. I thought this was a great idea because I love charcuterie, even though I'm not a meat eater. I've been places where they do nice cheese, olives, honey, mustards, little small pickles and things like that if you don't eat meat. But if you do eat meat, then you want to do the nice, pancetta and all that kind of. I don't eat it, so I don't really know. But you go. This is where you will have to go to the store. If you don't know what you're doing, Google some ingredients for a charcuterie board, or if not, ask the man behind the counter or the woman behind the counter, what's a great cheese? What's a great meat to go on a charcuterie board? And you will come home and you will look like you are winning. Only thing you want to make sure that you do is you set it up to look really cute. And what I brought one of these a while ago from a local place here in DC. This is my cheese board. Hey, it's shaped in the shape. Wait a minute, let me make sure I have it held up correctly. Shaped in the shape of DC. And this one is made out of slate, so I can put different things on there and write either what the actual ingredient is on the board, or I can write a cute little message to the hubby, love you, hearts, whatever. And then I would just lay everything out on here. Look at that. Well, this one, and because it's slate, it is different colors and it's not dirty. That's just, it takes on, it starts to absorb, and get seasoned, like cast iron. But yeah, so get you a cute little board. Lay your meats out, lay your cheeses out. You can put honey on the board or something sweet like a fig kind of, fig preserves and things like that. And so a little salty, a little sweet. And then that using your hands to eat is always a great idea for Love Day. And all of that being done on the blanket. And if you have and don't forget, of course, your bottle of wine, and your, what do you call it? Or if you do sparkling, and then you sipping, you having your board. And then later on, after you finish your wine, and a little time passes, you may have a few crackers left over on the board to round out your evening. So those are my tips for the love segment. I want you guys to be thinking outside the box. You don't have to go to a restaurant. You got everything you need in your own place at the grocery store. Get creative. Try something new, especially my friends who've been in the game for a little while, or my friends who just don't feel like being out there with the hustle or bustle, or you forgot to get reservations. So you heard it here first. You got it from your girl, Sharonda. You don't have to tell your partner where you got the idea from, but hit me up on social media at Sharonda Irving on Instagram and let me know how it went. That's what I want to know. Was it effective? How did it go? So that's it for the love segment. We're going to go into our second segment. And you know what? Next time you guys tune in, I think I'm going to have a little music as a nice little segue, so that we can make a smooth transition. But in the meantime, we're going to go into our next segment. Our next segment, we said it's art, loves, and fashion. We're going to go into our art segment. Now, again, as I said in the intro, in case you missed it, part of also what I do is I'm also an art lover. I'm an art curator and somewhat of an art collector. So I was watching WETA. Yes, I was nerding out one day on a Saturday, and they have an art segment. And so they started talking about, if you're in the DC area, you may have been to a section of DC called the Blagden Alley. And there is this really cute mural that says love, and it's made like rainbow. And when you go down there, you see tons of people standing in front of it. They're taking pictures, getting their Insta photos going. They are taking like engagement pictures, all kinds of stuff like that. So, and I think I have a picture of it. And it'll be popping up on your screen in a second. So I saw on WETA a story about the muralist that did this particular piece of artwork. And it was an interesting story because her name was Lisa Marie Thalhammer, something like that. And it was a whole segment on her and her journey into becoming a muralist. And I thought it was really interesting because here in DC and in a lot of the major cities, murals are really starting to pop up everywhere. The urban landscape is really being beautified by all of these murals. Now, me being a part of the hip hop generation, I find it interesting because, we came up with graffiti, and at first graffiti used to be considered, you could get locked up and arrested and they would consider it to be, vandalizing and vandalizing property, and people had to do it under the cover of night. Now it's an art form and it's being accepted by all kinds of segments of the community. So, we know how that goes. I won't get into that on this particular show, but back to Lisa Thalhammer and her murals. So I thought it was interesting because I did see it and I thought it was like a really, really beautiful mural. And one of the things that she said in her story was that the way that one of her first murals came about because she was in her neighborhood and she happened to witness a domestic violence incident. Through that incident, she was inspired to create some art that she was able to sort of like, I guess, get her feelings out and express herself and sort of maybe provide some healing energy for the community. And in fact, in the story, she was talking about how she was strategic in the colors that she chose because colors and different colors on the spectrum provide some different kind of energies, and she wanted to select colors that provided healing energy for the neighborhood. And so she painted this mural, and there was some controversy in the neighborhood about the new mural. They had gone back and forth whether or not they accepted it, whether or not it was okay. But nonetheless, the mural was allowed to stay up. And one of the things that they did was they did a little bit of, I guess, some sort of study, I guess because she wanted to prove that her mural should stay. And what they noticed was that, according to the artist, crime decreased 55% in the neighborhood after the mural went up. I don't know. That's what she said. I did not research it. If you're a fact checker and you'd like to go and find out if that's true, you're welcome to do that. But she said that this mural decreased crime 55% in the neighborhood, which brought to mind for me a couple of different questions or a couple of different thoughts on why art is so super important and why I love it, why I wanted to also dedicate part of the show to it is, the role that art plays in society, but also in our everyday lives. We don't have to be these major art curators and buy super expensive art or even know a whole lot about art in order to be an art collector. You just have to collect what speaks to you, what resonates with you, what makes you feel good, and go with it. And I think that that's one of the messages that she was trying to convey with the colors that she chose. And so, that particular segment had sort of sparked a little bit of curiosity in me around the murals that we see in DC. And I started to do a little bit of research. And one of the things that I learned, if you're in the DC area, is that DC has a mural bus tour. I don't know if anybody knew that. Did you know that? He doesn't know that I'm talking to him. DC has a mural bus tour. So just like they have the like hop on, hop offs in all the different major cities, so you can kind of go around and see the sites. Now they have one that you can go around and see the different murals across the city. So this is one of the things that it sparked in me. The first person I thought about after watching the segment, and I don't know, you guys have seen this if you're in the DC area, you have seen this guy. His name is Ania Khan. If you're not in the DC area, Google his stuff because he is amazing. He's amazing. One day I was driving and I saw this mural, and it was like a woman with this big giant hat on. Of course, I love fashion, so I'm like, oh, what's that? And she has this big giant pencil in her hand. And I'm like, oh my God, that is so dope. I need to figure out who that is. And I look on the side and he tags all his work, Ania Khan. So I go online, I look it up, and he is like amazing. So I looked him up, and he's basically like, he's a muralist, and he's got these murals all over the city. So he did a series, I think that one with the pencil, he did a series on something around like knowledge and learning, because he had all these different ones with pencils. And I was just literally blown away by his art. There's one that's part of the series. And then look at this one. I mean, incredible. The colors, the like faces. She looks like Lauryn Hill to me. I don't know if he was inspired by her, but she's amazing. She's amazing. And like, I know for me, just driving through the streets of DC and being able to look up and seeing that level of art just throughout the city is fantastic to me. Sometimes I like to take certain streets just to be able to drive past and see some art. You had a hard day at work. You need a minute. you drive down. I think one of his art pieces is down on like T Street, 7th and T, something like that. But they're like all over. So I know like sometimes I have to drive and like take a minute, look at some art, inhale, exhale. So I don't come in the house and bring all that kind of, negative energy or, erratic energy in the house. So that's the picture of the love mural. This one has gotten the artist a lot of attention. And people are flocking to Blagden Alley to see this particular mural. And like I said, people are taking Insta photos and engagement photos, and people are also the LGBTQIA community. You see a lot of people like taking photos of that to represent their community, and it's just really taken off. And now you start to see that rainbow motif in a lot of places. She actually did one for the Capitals, for their like the they won the championship. So they did one for her. And then I was thinking about this one. This is a Blind Wino. They took the concept of murals to a whole nother level. They just took the church and just painted the whole thing and made it a giant mural. And I think it's absolutely amazing. I'm sure if you're in this area, you've been past there, because at nighttime it's all uplit. They have an organization that does something inside called Culture House. I haven't been to any of the events yet, because I just enjoy looking at the artwork that they've done on the outside. It's absolutely amazing. It's breathtaking to me. And so I would encourage you to just take a drive around the city and check out the murals that are if you're in DC, check out the murals in DC at your own time. If you're a visitor here to DC, I would even say jump on that bus and go around and see it. If you're not in DC, I feel like I've been in a few cities where murals are starting to pop up. And sometimes we sort of take it for granted and it's just like background. One day, just kind of really pause and take note to see how what the art is, the public art that is, in your city. And sometimes it will be murals. Sometimes it'll be other things besides murals. Which, on that note, I want to make sure that I did mention that I was an art curator. One of the things that I do is I work with my husband, and I have a company where we help to solicit artists to have their artwork displayed in public spaces. And so I do want to show a link, an advertisement for solicitations. So if you are an artist and you want to try to have your work publicly displayed, there's a way for you to be able to do that. And I encourage you, if you're an artist, especially if you're a local, to take advantage of this solicitation. And we're going to put that up on the screen. Get a paper and pencil and make sure that you have that information. And I'll also put it up on my social media. Again, it's Sharonda Irving at Instagram. So one of the things that we're going to be doing, and I want you to continue to tune in to the show. We're going to be on Sundays at 5 o'clock. We're going to be talking about love, art, and fashion. I want you to... we're going to be doing a few interviews. We're going to be having some artists on. We'll be talking about, one of the things that I want to really make sure that we talk about is how to make art accessible to everybody. We live here in Washington, D.C. I live here in Washington, D.C., so we've got the Smithsonian and all of these amazing artists who are at the very top of their game. But we also have access to local artists. We also have access to people who are unknown, but we just love what they do. So I want to be able to have conversation about that. I'm going to be talking about some of my favorite artists. I'm going to be inviting some people into the studio to share what they do as artists. So it's going to be a great time. I want you to continue to stay with me. So that's just a little bit of a plug for some upcoming shows. And so my final segment is fashion. Fashion's my favorite thing to talk about. Those of you who have been following me, who are friends with me, it has been my favorite thing to talk about for a very long time. And so now you get to sit and have conversation with me. And again, at times we'll be doing some demos. I'll be bringing in some things to show you. I'll be giving you some tips. We're just on the heels of New York Fashion Week. Shows are starting to come in. They're doing live streams. There's the information for the call to artists. So the Department of General Services in Washington, D.C., they have 61 commissions for permanent for 2-dimensional and 3-dimensional artworks for Department of Public Works Department of Parks and Recs. So there's the online information. If you are an artist, go look on DGS. And the deadline to apply is February the 29th. Do not miss it. This is an opportunity you don't want to miss. Don't think that because you may not be well known or whatever the case may be, your art can be selected. 61 commissions. So that's a great opportunity for artists to get their work shown and displayed and permanently displayed. So hopefully I'll get a chance to see some of your work. So go ahead and submit it and apply and go through the process. 61 slots is a lot. And you never know. Then you'll be a part of the landscape where we get to drive past and see your work publicly displayed. So thank you. So we were in the midst of the fashion segment. So let's go back and talk about fashion. And I don't have any visuals for fashion, but I will next time. There'll be some, like I said, that's my favorite segment. So there'll be some visuals. I'll have some things in studio to show you. I'll have some boutique owners. I'll have some designers, all those things. And again, my idea is to make sure that I'm also making fashion accessible to you. And so one of the things that I was thinking about as I was planning for today, in line with this theme of Valentine's Day and Love Day coming up, is whenever I have a client and I start to work with them to help them to develop their image and to develop their wardrobe and make sure that they have a well curated wardrobe, the thing that we have to talk about the very first time into their closet, well, we talk about their outfits and all that kind of stuff, but you do not get to go past start until we talk about your foundations. And so foundations, I'm being professional. By foundations, I mean your undergarments, right? And so it's Love Day, so let's talk about it. That's the first step in your key to looking good. And so before we can talk about the fly outfit, before we can talk about designer labels, or before we can talk about our fantastic online boutiques that sell us all kinds of creative outfits and things like that, you cannot go past your undergarments. So let's get into it. I'm going to give you some tips for your everyday life, and we can talk a little bit about how that's going to translate into your Love Day. And so, let me look at my time. Is this counting up or counting down? Counting up? I'm good. I got a whole, okay. Well, we might be ending early today. Or you're going to come on the other side and we're going to have a dialogue. Okay, so that means slow down because I'm talking fast, I think, because I'm excited. That's what you're telling me? Slow down? Okay. All right. So then I can talk about fashion all day. And we'll start with the undergarments. So one of the big things that we start talking about is bras. And the thing that I tell all of my clients and all of my friends is that you must get a professional bra fitting. And I'm laughing because my producer's behind the screen smiling. And because I'm thinking about some of my clients who did not take that seriously. There are some stores that specialize in lingerie, and I'm not going to name any brands, but some stores specialize in lingerie, and they will do a bra fitting for you. You have to be very careful with some of those brand specific lingerie stores, because what they're doing is that they are fitting you so that you can fit their bras. And what will happen to you is that you will go to another store and you will buy a bra that is not the right size. And we all know what that looks like. We all know the spillage. We know the overhang. We know the tugging, what an ill-fitting bra looks like and what it feels like. And one of the big things is that if it does not feel good, you're not going to look good. Wherever you go, you're going to be uncomfortable. You're going to be fidgety. You're going to feel self-conscious. So it's super, super important to make sure that it feels good. And part of it feeling good is the fit. So I'm not a bra specialist, but what I know is that there are bra specialists. So I always recommend for people to go to a department store. The department store will measure you according to standard, not according to a specific brand. So what they will do, and you got to get comfortable because the bra specialist is going to be all up in your business. So make sure you're looking good, you're smelling good, you're lotioned up. Shaved and all of that. You got to make an appointment. You don't have to, but if you want to make sure that the bra specialist has time for you, make an appointment. Call the department store, ask to speak to someone in their intimates section, and tell them that you would like to make an appointment for a bra fitting. You come in, bra fitting specialist will go out, you take off your bra, she's going to come in the room, she's going to measure you without your bra on. So that's why I said get ready, get comfortable. But it's important, and she might have to move some things and handle some things. So be ready. She's going to take your measurements, and then, but that's not the end. Then what's going to happen is she's going to go and get you a couple of different styles. And ladies, we understand what that means. You want to try on a t-shirt bra. You want to try on an underwire bra. You want to try on demi cups, all those different kinds. You may need a minimizer. You may need something with padding. Your bra specialist is going to give you some recommendations too, because depending on the shape of your body, depending on all those different factors, she's going to give you some recommendations on what you also need. And you're going to try on all those different kinds. And what you will find, was so fascinating for me, what you will find is that depending on the kind of bra, your bra size may not be the same. So then you're going to have to keep trying different kinds of bras on. And you may realize certain cups of bras may not work for you or may not look the best on you, depending on what you're trying to achieve. And since we're talking about Love Day, you want to find out if a demi cup looks good on you or not before you just buy that bra off the rack. Or you want to find out if, the little bralettes that don't have a lot of support in them, can you get away with a bralette? Try all that stuff on so you can figure out what size. And your bra specialist is going to make sure that the back is not riding up and all the way up on your shoulder blades or all the way down, and you have it hooked in the correct position. Because guess what? If you're walking around and you have your bra hook on the first hook or the last hook, it's probably not fitting you correctly. The ideal positioning for your hooks is in the middle. Now, granted, we Our weight fluctuates. Our bodies tend to change from here to there, to there to here. But when you purchase your bra, you want your hooks to be in the middle. Once it starts to stretch out and you need to do some kind of magic tricks to make it fit in the back, or you getting all kinds of you doing all kinds of extra things, it's time to re-up and get you some new bras. And this is what I will say. What I recommend to my clients is, once you go to the department store and you get that fitting by a professional specialist, she'll recommend some things. Don't feel pressured to buy anything, especially if, it depending on where you are. If you are not really prepared to shop in that particular department store at that time, do not feel pressured. What you can do is, now you have the information. You can go to Marshall's. You can go to TJ Maxx. Oh, I said I wasn't going to say the name of the store. You can go to some of the stores that are discounted. They still sell good quality undergarments. But now you know what you're looking for. You know what it's supposed to look like. And so now you can take your time, or now you can go to other stores and get bras that fit you correctly. So that's number one. That's number one, undergarments. That's only one part of it, the bra. But that's the first thing that people tend to see. Well, I shouldn't say that. I guess it depends on your body type. So step one, go to your department store, get a bra fitting. Get yourself, and if you can, once you get that bra fitting, I recommend that you get a t-shirt bra. Everybody likes to have a nice neutral black bra and a neutral color bra. Now here's the interesting thing. A lot of times we use the word nude, right? And we all we know that nude is relative. So we want to make sure that when we say nude, you might have to do a little bit of searching. You might have to go online, or you might have to go to some of the smaller boutique bra sellers or boutique lingerie stores and find yourself a nude bra that matches. We are so blessed in 2020 that small businesses and these folks are out here making bras that come in all skin complexions. No longer do we have to just wear a black bra because we can't find a nude color bra that matches. You might have to do a little bit of research to find one, but you most certainly will be able to find one. As a matter of fact, I bought some not too long ago from a place over in Southeast called Nubian Human. Well, it was a while ago. I bought a couple different ones, but I bet you if you Google it, yep, there you go. I just Googled it because I like to have my technology with me, because I like to fact check and I like to give people up-to-date information, so that when I'm talking about something, I can kind of go ahead and make sure that what I'm saying is accurate, or if I want to give some on-the-spot information. So when it comes to your bras, I Googled brown bra just to see what was going to come up. And of course, your girl Rihanna. Rihanna is really killing the game. She is really killing the game for black girls, people of color. My God. First she hit the market with all the foundations. Shut that down. She basically changed the whole makeup game by coming out with makeup shades that match all of us. But yes, your girl Fenty, come through Rihanna, Savage Fenty. She's got a lingerie line, but she's got lingerie that matches a variety of skin tones. Let me click on her and see what she's giving us. And I think it might be it's pretty reasonably priced, which is always beautiful. So I'm looking right now. They've got the She's got the little triangle lace bralette. I just told y'all about those bralettes though. Y'all better be careful. Don't just be jumping out there wearing a bralette. He's shaking his head. Don't just jump out there wearing a bralette if you really, if that's not your body type, right? And I'm not saying that to body shame anybody because, you know, all bodies are beautiful. But you want to get things that are flattering for you. And bralettes are not always flattering on everybody. You got to do a lot of stuff. And you might not feel comfortable with a bralette on. That's what I discovered. You will be doing some moving and some tugging and some fixing. So if you need support, go ahead. Leave the bralette to somebody else with a different kind of body type. However, though, I digress. I told you I could talk about fashion on and on and on. Back to my original topic, which was Love Day correct undergarments. Step 1, going to get that professional bra fitting. Buy the bras from the department store if you choose, or buy the bras from another place where they may have them at a discounted rate. But now you know what it should look like. Make sure you get a t-shirt bra. Make sure you get a cute, lacy, sexy bra that makes you feel great underneath your clothes. If you've got a big day but you want some confidence, nothing like a beautiful bra underneath your clothes to make you feel confident. Now, step 2. Make sure that you've got great panties to match. Make sure you've got your flesh tone panties. Make sure you've got your black panties. All those things. I won't spend a lot of time on panties because I think panties, we kind of got that down. But this is what I do want to say. Body shapers. People are really like, I'm not wearing Spanx. Oops, saying brand name. I'm not wearing body shapers. I'm not wearing compression. You all have heard the term skinny fat, or you've seen sometimes on those runway shows, the ladies, you know, they might be slim, but they could use a little smoothing out. Everybody can use some smoothing out. Wearing a body shaper is not about size of your body. Wearing a body shaper is about smoothing out your clothing. You don't have to wear a body shaper all the time. You don't have to wear them to work. You don't have to wear them to feel like you need to fit into something. But you need to have them as part of your wardrobe when you need to look smooth. Believe it or not, they have them for men now. They've got undershirts that are smoothing for men. They've got underwear that keep everything smooth and in place. So this is not just about us ladies. This is about the gentlemen too. When you tuck your shirt in, you want that thing to lay down. When you have on a nice dress that's fitting in the midsection, you want that midsection to be smooth. I didn't say flat. I didn't say small. You just want it to be smooth. You want the back view to be smooth. So you've got to have body shapers in your underwear arsenal. So does that mean like some of these body shapers come in all different kinds of compression levels? Some of them are just to like keep you smooth, and then some of them are like you need somebody to help you put it on, and you better go to the bathroom before you get it on because you're not gonna get it off until the end of the night. But you can have different levels of compression, however you need, whatever you need to feel your best, do your thing. But what I want you to walk away with at the end of the day is on the nights when you want to feel sexy, on the days when you want to feel confident, on those occasions when you want to make sure that your clothing looks as good as you want it to look, you have to start with your foundation garments. And so what does that mean? Going and taking the time to get some things that fit you properly and that are good quality. So I hope that you got some good takeaways today. I thank you for tuning in. This is Art Loves Fashion. We're on a journey of all things beautiful and creative. Go out and try some of the things that I suggested today, and then hit me up on Instagram at Sharonda Irving. And let me know your thoughts about art, love, and fashion. And I'll see you next Sunday at 5 o'clock. Peace. Welcome to Art Loves Fashion. I'm your host, Sharonda Irving. I'm an image consultant, professional developer, art curator and collector, a wife and a mom. This show, Art Loves Fashion, is about, you guessed it, art, love, and fashion. We'll be meeting new people, trying interesting things, and hopefully learning something new. Sounds kind of vague, right?